Joining us now, a man headed to the NCAA championships next week in Eugene, Oregon. This has been a track and field week on BYU Sports Nation for good reason, because they're in a great position to earn some national respect at the meet of meets. Jason Witt, specifically in the 10,000 meters, one of the nation's best distance runners. Welcome to Studio B.
Hey, thanks. I'm happy to be here.
Jason, well, let's start with the easy questions, and that is, did you run here for this interview?
I finished my run this morning, and I immediately afterwards I looked at my watch and I realized I'm going to be cutting it close. And so it was a mad dash to get here on time.
But you made it.
I did.
You're here in Studio B with Jason Witt, again approaching the 10,000 meter NCAA championship. Brian Logan guaranteed that he would run 20 miles in a week on this show.
I keep forgetting that, and I keep remembering. All right, I'll do it.
Okay, Brian's going to run 20 miles in a week. That'll be a huge accomplishment. How many miles a week do you run?
Usually around 90 miles is a typical training week.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my gosh. I'm, dreading 20. Do you have any tips or advice for me for my 20?
Start out slow. And
how many miles should I run a day?
Well, if you're looking for 20 miles, I'd, if it was me, I would just do it in one day and get it over with.
Oh, one day.
Yeah, just one run. Just get it out of the way.
We're not all Americans, Jason. Okay, no, but that's to your point. Okay, so 3.5 miles a day, Brian, something like
Something like that. I think that's doable.
Pull that off, bro.
I think I could do that, man.
3.5 miles. 90. Jason's running 90 miles a week. 90 miles. When did you find this crazy love for running?
It's kind of gradually developed over time. But I started running when I was young, and kind of ran every now and then in elementary school, and got a little more into it in middle school, and even more passion in high school, and I guess even that much more now in college. But it's definitely been a kind of a lifelong process. But
so in most sports, when athletes get in trouble, they have to run, right? Hit the fence or whatever, stairs. But with you guys, how do you guys get disciplined? You guys run all day.
Yeah, that's a good question. My high school coach, every now and then, when he would get upset with one of the runners on a team, he'd be like, "Oh, just go run," and it's like that's kind of pointless. That's
what we do.
Yeah, so that's a good question. I'm not really sure. I guess you could, discipline us by not letting us run.
You will go to timeout, Jason,
Sit down.
and you will not run for an hour.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wouldn't it be nice to love running like Jason Witt? You are going to be competing in Eugene, Oregon on the track of tracks, where there's a lot of, track and field history. How do you like your chances in the meet to end the season?
I'm really excited for the opportunity to race in Eugene at Hayward Field. This is actually going to be my third time racing at this venue. It's a historic location. The fans are fantastic. The competition is going to be great, and so I'm really excited for the opportunity, and I really like my chances going into the meet. Coach Highstone's done a great job of preparing me mentally and physically for this race, and I'm excited to go out on a high note.
With the competition, who do you see as your biggest competitor? Who are you going to have your eye on the most?
The Oregon boys are very, very competitive. They're very, very tough. They'll be running on their home track. They're going to have the fan support with them, and those guys are going to be ready. So Edward Cheserek and Eric Jenkins are going to be the two biggest names that I'll be looking out for during the race.
Okay, Edward and Eric. Jason Witt from BYU is coming with a fury at the NCAA championships. What type of time do you have to potentially take an NCAA title?
I'd say that you need to be someone who's fit enough to run under 28 minutes. In this particular race, there's a good chance that it could become tactical, which means that at certain times of the race, it may be slower. And, so because guys are kind of playing games, they don't necessarily want to lead. They may want to draft out their others. So there's a good chance that the pace could be slow to moderate. And so the actual winning time at Nationals most likely will not be under 28 minutes, but I would say the person who goes on to win the race is certainly capable of running under 28 minutes in a fast race.
We're talking about, between 6 and 7 miles, right?
Yeah, 6.2 miles. So
in under 28 minutes. Like that's quite a pace, and one that's going to gain some national notoriety if you can do that. What's the ceiling for you, Jason?
Well, I'd like to be as competitive as possible in the race and put myself in a position that I can compete with, Cheserek and Jenkins at the end of the race and whoever else may be hanging around at that point of the race. So,
well, you say you have to be fit to do that. I'm sure with being fit comes your diet. What are some of your restrictions, your go-to foods you have to stay away with in order to stay fit?
Well, I love eating steak. Yesterday I had a really good steak dinner. My wife, she's from Kenya, and so the Kenyans are notorious for having some of the best distance runners in the world.
Yes.
Yeah. And so, one of their staple foods is called ugali, which is made with like white cornmeal, and she makes that all the time for me. So I feel like
secret.
I feel like I get the edge because I'm eating the Kenyan diet.
Dude,
we now know your secret
we
plan.
know the secret now.
Ugali. It's and shout out to your wife for supporting that. That's awesome.
That's pretty cool. I'm gonna see if my wife can make some for my 3.5 miles a day.
You're going to need more than ugali, Brian.
I know.
Okay.
I'm going to need prayers.
When you look at the challenge that lies ahead and you want to calm the nerves, we talked to Coach Eystone yesterday about things that he tries to kind of keep athletes in the moment and not let it become too big. What do you do personally to kind of just, keep focus during such a big race?
What I do is I break the race up into segments. Rather than towing the line thinking that I have an entire 10K to race, I think of, well, I'm just going to run the first mile in, 4:40 or whatever, and a time that's not very intimidating to me. And so I think all I have to do is run the first mile in 4:40, and then once I'm in the race, in the groove, I'd kind of just let it be natural.
Well, Jason, we typically give away the BYU Sports Nation karma to those that come in Studio B to go and use it to succeed in your next meet, and we're going to do that today. So at this time, we grant you some BYU Sports Nation karma
through the holding of
to
hands.
take up to Hayward Field at the University of Oregon in the NCAA championships.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, man. During the break, we'd also like you to give us your autograph, sign our BYU Sports Nation Rise Up flag if you don't mind.
Will do.
Jason, awesome stuff. Congratulations. Good luck.
Thanks, guys.